guys, and welcome back to Mary J's Naturals. So today I wanted to talk to you guys and kind of refine my YouTube channel surrounding chronic hives. So there is a lot that I want to add, and most of the videos actually in Mary J's Naturals are chronic hives related. I just didn't title them that way, but moving forward I will title them that way, and I will continue to put out refreshed content about how to subdue your hives as well as try and figure out what is causing them. So I've been struggling with chronic hives for about 3 years. The doctors had me on a course of antihistamines, antiacids, Singulair, which is an H2 blocker, prednisone, and that really messed up my body. Now, most doctors that you go to will typically say chronic idiopathic urticaria, idiopathic meaning unknown, stems from an unknown autoimmune response. Now, that answer is literally like the biggest BS I've ever heard. Now, do I think doctors are out there to continue to hurt you? No, I don't. I think that they were honestly indoctrinated, as they are doctors, and their course books are written by the same people that they prescribe the medication from. So when there's a repeat customer, there's more money in the business, right? So you always have to look at things as a business. Now, I started after 2 years of taking prednisone and my body getting so messed up and me not being able to figure out what was causing my hives, I like broke down. And so I started taking things into my own hands and really wanted to solve not only the root cause of that issue, but also fixing all the other issues inside my body, but holistically, because I do believe that Mother Nature put everything out there that we need, and that Big Pharma is just literally giving us something to put a Band-Aid on the symptoms rather than treating the problem. So one of the truest and first things that you guys want to do when dealing with chronic hives, and I've noticed a lot of people commenting this on some other forums that I'm on, is if you were taking a probiotic or a prebiotic, stop the pro and prebiotics. Now, the reason for this, and that was what triggered my hives. My probiotics triggered my hives. Now, the reason for this is because the autoimmune functions from the gut. Now, whenever I would say that to doctors, I'd be like, well, the autoimmune functions from the gut, so why can't we check my gut? None of them would want to check my gut. I went to a bajillion different doctors, including the gastro doctor, and they were just not willing to do it because chronic hives is not a them problem, it's an allergist problem, and the allergist says it's not a them problem, it's a dermatologist problem, and you just keep getting bounced around. So the reason for that is if the autoimmune system functions from the gut, then that means that there's a problem with the gut, and whatever is going on is most likely stemming from your gut. Now, the issue with pro and prebiotics is the fact that if, let's say, you have a bacterial overgrowth, that which could absolutely be causing your hives, you are not only feeding the good bacteria in your body, but you're also feeding that bad bacteria that is causing your hives. So when I stopped my probiotic, my hives got infinitely better. Now, I still needed things to manage my hives, but I wasn't waking up like head to toe in hives anymore. I was waking up with hives, and it takes a while to really start correcting the GI tract and the gut and stuff and cleaning stuff out. Now, I did another video, I believe last week, saying the main 4 tests that you should take to figure out what is causing your hives, and this includes the GI effects, the mole toxicity, and OAT test, which is for SIBO, which is small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, and any methane-causing bacteria in the body, as well as the Dutch test, which is for the adrenal glands. Especially if you guys have been on prednisone or any other comparable steroid for your hives, you're really going to want to take that Dutch test to see how much damage has been done to your liver as well as your adrenals with the prednisone. Now, I am not telling you guys to stop prednisone if you are on it currently. You must do a slow taper, and depending how long you've been on it means the slower the taper. Now, for me, I had to stay on prednisone for longer than I needed for my hives, and this is because they put me on high levels of prednisone for 2 years. So as I would try and come down on the prednisone, my adrenal glands were no longer working, and so I wasn't getting the hormones I needed, and so I couldn't even get out of bed. So I actually had to prolong the steroid use due to the fact that they continued my steroids initially for those 2 years that I had my hives. Now, currently, I have my hives in control. They waver in and out sometimes. Sometimes they're worse than others, and there are some key factors that may trigger it to be worse, and I'll explain those in another video, guys. But today, I really just wanted to pop on here and let you guys know the main and most important component to reversing your chronic hives is if you are taking a pro or prebiotic, you must stop it. Just see the effects. Unless you were taking it for some life-altering or life-saving reason, stop the probiotic. Just cut it out from your system. I promise you your hives will get infinitely better because your autoimmune functions from your gut, and you're feeding whatever bad bacteria or whatever mold that you have going on in there, you're feeding that as well as the other good bacteria. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to click the like, click the subscribe, click the notification bell, guys. I'm putting out these videos pretty regularly because I would love to help people like me, as well as people like you, solve their chronic hives. And in other videos, I've talked about what to do to manage your chronic hives while figuring out what exactly is causing it. So I will give more helpful tips and tricks as to other supplements to take to fight those bacterial overgrowths in the body, because it's pretty inevitable whether you have chronic hives or you don't have chronic hives. Most people probably have a bacterial overgrowth of some sort. So there are natural ways of doing this without ridding the body of the good bacteria, and I will put that in another video, but make sure to click that subscribe, comment below, let me know how your hives are doing, if you've been taking the probiotics, and if you saw any correlation, if you start thinking about it, between the time you started your probiotics and the time you got chronic hives. So thank you guys so much for watching Mary J's Naturals. I hope you have a good one.